Hey there, I've had to record this a few times. You've got to love editing and data loss issues. Anyway, welcome to the episode. I just want to start off by showing you this amazing building. The EWOK, or the Early Warning Object Killer as we ended up naming it, has come together amazingly, more than I could have imagined. The main people working on it was Madzify and Oddman, and I did a tiny bit as well, but this looks epic. Absolutely epic. It's a space station. It's got turrets on the side to aim at and destroy meteors coming in. It's fitting in with our theme of trying to prevent another catastrophe. We had a meteor crash into the server a few weeks back, and we want to make sure that doesn't happen again. That sounded like it hit the ground pretty hard. And on the interior, we've now got an aquatic area set up. I don't know which one set this up. It was either Madzify or Oddman, but it looks amazing. Now, what I will say is that I have been working on this building over on Twitch. So if you aren't following me on Twitch yet, you can watch me live as I'm working on the Scoutcraft server. Let's get into the episode. The interior of the EWOK required quite a lot of work. As you can see, there's a water tunnel going up and down, which kind of looked out of place, and a huge spiral cobblestone staircase. Both of these things needed to go. First off, I started with just some basic cleanup. There were some placement blocks that were still left over from when the main structure was built. And then I got to work to planning out what I was going to set up. My intention was to build elevators here. I thought, why don't we make this into a futuristic space station like it is? And a space station has got to have elevators, surely. No, they're not going to make people walk upstairs, right? I mean, I guess NASA's meant to be underfunded, but yeah, you get the drift. I started measuring out where it was going to arrive at the top. But in the meantime, the aquarium area had been built, which severely limited my available space. I was planning to use the exit here to actually get out, but now there's just a window there with water. So I had to change my plans. I didn't have enough space in this area. It was too cramped to fit the cabins for the elevators. So what was I going to do instead? Well, I decided to build another floor directly underneath. And this is where the top floor of the elevator will end up. Started cleaning up the old staircase because we didn't need that anymore, just to get it out of the way. And then started planning out where the elevator shaft would go. Unfortunately, I ran into some issues with positioning and had to rebuild them over and over again many times until I got something that would work. I ended up having to make the elevator cabin much smaller than I wanted to, but that was the only way to fit in the redstone, allow for the water tunnels, and also allow for clear passageway to get up and down out of the elevator doors. It's starting to take shape, but there's still a lot of work to do. So I started putting in pistons. The elevator doors need to be automatic. We need them to close behind us and then reopen again when we're at the top. Now, part of this will be a bit of editing trickery, but we still wanted actual pistons opening and closing doors to make it work. Then I started doing some more decoration. I decided to mainly go for a red nether brick wall with sea lanterns for lighting. Then I started moving the water shafts. These no longer needed to be here, they need to be hidden inside the elevator shaft instead. And so I rebuilt the one where you just fall down, because that's the simplest one to do, and rebuilt that inside one of the elevator shafts. In the meantime, I decided to go into the nether, and I made a horrible mistake. Yeah, you can see the video for this on my channel, and I'll put it up on the card right now. I lost a lot of netherite stuff that day. Once I recovered and went netherite mining again and got some of my tools back, I came back to the EWOK and continued progress. I started polishing things up, making things look better, and eventually got around to removing that second water pillar. I filled it up with sand first to get rid of the water as quickly as I could. Keep in mind that to do this, you need to get rid of the soul sand at the bottom first, otherwise the sand will just float on the water. I made that mistake myself. Don't do that. Then I just moved the pillar inside and started polishing off the entryway and the foyer. It needed a roof, and it also needed something else. So I did something that I learnt from a recent episode of Susuma Void on Hermitcraft. turned out better than I could have expected. Then I started working on lighting. It seemed a bit dark in there, and I eventually found that by putting the sea lanterns on the bottom, it gave the desired effect. So the EWOK is designed to defend against incoming meteors. Speaking of, tomorrow's episode is something really special. You will not want to miss it. See you then. Also, thank you Sonic for being a new patron. Catch you all later, you're awesome.